I think we're live. I think we're live. What's going on, everybody? What's going on, guys? I'm Mario, and this is the MOP, the Mario Operandi podcast. Today we got a special guest. Dennis is in the building. Dennis, what up, man? How are you?
What's going on? Thanks for having me. I'm glad I'm finally going international.
Yeah, I'm from South America. We were talking behind the scenes. Dennis is in New York. Um, I'm a great fan of your podcast. You're obviously the co-host of the Atlantic Files podcast. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And you also do some other work. I've seen your Twitter biography.
Yep, we do some fantasy sports writing and NBA, a lot of NBA stuff, and for
Some NFL as well.
NFL, rotoballer.com. And I've written for a couple other sites before too. Yeah, it's all busy. It's a busy time of the year.
Yeah, man. Obviously, we had the training camp approaching us in a couple of months.
It's a good time of the year.
Yeah, obviously NFL. We've seen some battles in some practices. Aaron Donald swinging a helmet to another players.
That was an accident.
Yeah, maybe we can talk on some NFL at the end of this podcast.
Yeah, let's do it. I heard you're a big star down there in Chile. You're a bigger star since Snooki. You're the most famous person coming out of Chile since Snooki.
She's from Jersey Shore, right?
Yeah, apparently she's Chile.
Yeah, Chile. But we don't claim her that much. She's not like a Chilean, quote unquote.
I'll take her place then.
Damn, you really surprised me with that fact, man.
Yeah, you really got
it. We also had an NFL player in the NFL on the Washington Commanders, Sammy Reyes, but he was released, I guess. So that's sad. The main topic that I would like to talk with you and discuss is gonna be the Brooklyn Nets. You're obviously a follower of the team, and I really like your perspective on this team. What can we expect this year from these Brooklyn Nets coming back? We got Ben Simmons, we got a healthy Joe Harris, we got obviously everything that happened after the KD situation. What do you think that we can expect from this Brooklyn Nets team?
Well, it's going to go one or two ways. It's going to go either really, really well, or it's going to go really, really bad. Last season it went really bad. So hopefully this season it'll go really, really well. So there's a couple things in Brooklyn that are going on that is going to determine whether Brooklyn is going to have a good season or not. For one, it starts with KD and Kyrie. Is Kyrie going to be an asshole this season, or is he going to actually get on the court and play? Because that's going to be important. If Kyrie's on the floor for a good chunk of the season, then the Nets are going to look pretty good. Without a doubt, Kyrie Irving is probably could have won multiple MVPs at this point. However, his off-the-court antics and all that stuff has severely derailed him from doing anything significant in terms of like individual accomplishments. Kevin Durant, fantastic player. We know he's a great player. Can he stay healthy? He's been banged up over the last couple of years, missed about 6 weeks last season with a knee injury. That stretch where he wasn't playing, it cost the Nets a significant amount of games, which ultimately didn't work out for their favor at the end. Ben Simmons going to stay healthy? We know he was out all of last season, still with the back injury. Is he going to stay engaged from a mental standpoint, and is he going to stay healthy? So those are the three biggest questions for them. And then we have development piece. Can these young guys step up and develop? Can Cam Thomas be what he was in the summer league?
Japanese Mamba.
And at points in time last season, Cam Thomas looked fantastic, but he's got to step up off the bench now that Bruce Brown is gone, even though Bruce Brown got a lot of starts. But Cam Thomas needs to make that leap. He worked a lot with KD in the first season, and Nico Claxton, man, he's got to get his shit together and be consistent.
Yeah, man, I've watched the last episode, and you and the other co-host. What's his name?
Mike.
Mike. He was defending Nick Claxton. For me, Claxton, come on, man, you gotta get your shit together, as you said, and
Well, Mike's
and
special. We feel bad for him, so we let him come on.
man, your show is really really amazing.
Thanks, brother.
It's really really amazing. Do you think that but besides getting or the society dealing with another pandemic, maybe like monkeypox, we can we can expect a great season from Kyrie, especially he's playing for his new contract. He didn't get an extension this year from the Brooklyn Nets, as maybe he expected. He didn't get many offers from other teams. We saw all the
Shocking.
Lakers situations. He was like the savior of the Lakers. What do you think that maybe Kyrie will be in his right state of mind and will ball this season?
Well, of course he will, because he knows if he doesn't get his shit together, then there's going to be a lot of teams teams don't want him now because of how he acts off the floor.
That's a fact.
100, no cap. So, yeah, if Kyrie doesn't get his shit together, man, it's going to be. I mean, there'll be teams interested, but he's not going to get the big money that he deserves to get. It's
The
all going to
bag.
come. He's not going to get the bag. So it's all going to come down to whether he stays healthy, engaged, and whether he's going to be a pain in the ass. The reports coming out of Brooklyn, though, seem to say he's doing really well. He's getting along with his teammates. He's working hard over the summer. So we'll see what happens.
And according to his manager, that is his stepmother, I guess, she said that he's all about love and compassion and blah blah blah. What's your train of thought about the report that Kyrie wanted a special contract, no back-to-backs, only 60 games per season?
Well, I said it before. Kyrie's the only guy who's rooting for another pandemic so he doesn't have to play. Like, he wants monkeypox to break out so that he doesn't have to play, you know what I mean? So, but Kyrie doesn't need that in his contract. I've said it before. All he has to do is have discussions. Hey, I'm getting older. You know, getting older sucks. Yeah, I don't know how old you are, but it definitely sucks. A lot of things start breaking down.
I'm getting there. I'm 27.
Yeah, you got a little ways to go, my man. So when you get older, things start breaking down. So I can understand if he would go in and say, hey, I'm getting older. I need more time off, you know, blah, blah, blah. But you don't need that in a contract. Plus, he's been missing games with no issues for the past years. So do you really need that in your contract at this point? No.
Yeah, I agree 100% with that. What do you think is the dynamic of these reports coming out? Do you think it's one leaking from one side or leaking from the other side to make the other side look bad? Maybe this was leaked by the Nets.
Well, I have thought for a long time that there is a mole somewhere in that organization, and it goes back to when James Harden was there, because I have a feeling that Harden wasn't, even though this never really came out, but Harden was probably, you know, not really happy the fact that Kyrie wasn't playing because he wasn't getting vaccinated. However, there was James Harden playing on a pretty dinged up hamstring that he continued to play through.
In the playoffs, right?
Well, it dates back to the playoffs when he was with Houston, but this past season and the year prior to that, he's been continuously dealing with that nagging hamstring ailment. So, you know, and he's played. So if I was a player, that would piss me off too. If I'm sitting here playing through a hamstring ailment and you're out with your peace and love bullshit and not playing, you know what I mean?
The sage.
With the sage. Yeah, apparently it's done well for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So no, yeah, I've suspected there's been a mole in Brooklyn and there's moles in every other team too. So they're not the only team with it. So yeah, and if if anyone could make Kyrie look like shit, because I'm sure he has more than one person who doesn't like him.
Yeah, that's obviously
It's probably
that's
Ben
obvious.
Simmons, so Ben Simmons could take all the pressure and heat off of himself so that he could look good. Ben Simmons looks like $1 million right now.
With Ben Simmons, to me, is more worried about what the outfit that he's gonna rock to the arena than playing the sport. Um, that's a great segue.
Thank you.
What do you think about the Ben Simmons situation? What do you think that they have to do in order to get the best out of him? Maybe one way is to cuddle him, to say, "Oh, Ben, everything's gonna be okay. We will wait for you. You can take time off." Or do you think that is another route that is like to be very straightforward with him and to maybe like positive bullying to do positive bullying with him?
I've never heard of such a thing as positive bullying. So, you know, no, he doesn't need any more love. He doesn't need any more encouragement. That bullshit's over. He's a big boy now. Time to put your big boy pants on, put your nutsack on the table, and let's play some basketball. You know what I mean? So this guy, in his defense, I've always stood up for Ben Simmons. I think that he got a bad rap even before he was drafted. They knew what kind of player he was before he was drafted, and they still drafted him anyways. They knew his shot wasn't the best, but they still drafted him anyways. And then for them to kind of blame him for not being as an efficient scorer as they wanted him to be, I feel like a lot of people kind of hung him out to dry. We oftentimes, in the NBA, you're kind of judged on whether you can shoot and whether you can shoot a 3-point shot. We know obviously he can't shoot to save his life. However,
Or maybe he's shooting with the wrong hand.
He's doing something with the wrong hand, but these, it's if you don't make your 3-point shots, a lot of NBA fans will pretty much write you off. However, he's very similar to like Lonzo Ball in a way where he's a great passer, he's a great defender, he's a great rebounder. He does a lot of things. Gets
Creating threes for others.
Yeah, he contributes so much, and the fact that I don't think the Philly fans appreciated him that much must have been hurtful for him because it's not really his fault. Joel Embiid could have took a lot of flack for that. He wasn't healthy a lot over the years, so I'm hoping Ben Simmons has a fresh start in Brooklyn. He doesn't need to be a scorer because KD and Kyrie can score with no issues whatsoever. All Ben Simmons has to do is not be afraid to take a couple shots and then keep contributing in those other areas, and he'll be fine.
In the defensive end, for me, the
especially, and not to cut you off, man, but the Nets need help bad in that area, and if they could get the quality defensive production out of him that he's been known for over the years, then the Nets are going to be scary.
Yeah, and the Nets need some help in that front. They need help for Nick Claxton that we talked before. To me, obviously, I wouldn't expect Ben Simmons to score 20 points, but for me, as long as he's contributing on the defensive side, I think the Nets will be fine.
Yeah, he could score 2 points a day, and as long as he's doing the other stuff, that's all you can ask at him because Kyrie and KD are those two are probably the two of the best scorers in the history of the NBA, and they're great. Their problem has nothing to do with how well they play. It has to do with can they play, or will they play, or do they want to play? So all Ben Simmons has to do is show up, man, and it's over.
Yeah. Do you see him playing the 5?
I have a feeling they're just going to move him all over the place. I mean, the Nets couldn't have a stable starting lineup last season, so I could see him playing a lot of 1. I could see him playing 5 with small ball situations. He might get time at the 4. I mean, the guy could play literally anywhere you put him.
and they are gonna try, as you said in your podcast, that they are gonna try to outscore obviously the opponents, most of the opponents.
Oh yeah, well that was the Nets MO for the past couple of years while this thing was going on. When Harden, Durant, and Kyrie were on the floor, they knew they were going to play faster. They knew they were going to pick up the pace, and obviously when you do that, you kind of suffer a little bit on the defensive end. You give up more points per game. Um, I would like to see their just defensive rating improve. I mean, they're going to give up points just based on how fast they play, but if their defensive rating improves, which probably will with Ben Simmons on the floor, it's going to be dangerous. And people stay healthy, man. This is a team that could make it far in the East to the NBA championship. They could beat Boston. They could beat any team they want to. It's just all how they want to play.
Yeah, and it's all about what's between the ears for KD and Kyrie, obviously for Ben Simmons. The last topic about Brooklyn, what do you think about Steve Nash? Maybe that if they don't start with a great record, do you think that Joe Tsai or maybe Sean Marks are gonna take some decisions and move on from Steve Nash?
Well, I think that they should have never let Kenny Atkinson go because Kenny Atkinson was a great coach. I mean, he had some bad years, but for what he
And
had,
he won a ring, right, with the Warriors.
he just won a ring with the Warriors. He was going to go to Charlotte, and he ended up backing out. And he's now Steve Kerr's top assistant. Now that Mike Brown is now in Sacramento. So Kenny Atkinson, I wish Kenny Atkinson would have stayed. Steve Nash, I mean, he was a great player and everything, but he's made some just questionable choices as a coach. I question his leadership. I question his toughness.
His
Um,
adjustments, on game
he's,
adjustments.
there's been times where he should have called a timeout and he hasn't called a timeout. So he's still learning, man. And it's, but now's not the time to learn. Now's the time to win.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Moving on from the Brooklyn Nets, what do you think about the other team that we heard a lot during this off season? The Warriors wasn't on the news or on the media most of the time because of the KD and the Brooklyn situation, but also we got the Lakers situation, waiting for Kyrie to save them, waiting for more help to LeBron to help LeBron win another championship. Um, what do you think about the Lakers now that they have traded for Beverly? What do you think about the Westbrook situation as well?
Well, I'm a huge Westbrook guy, and they are making a big mistake if they think that Patrick Beverly is going to be the savior of the Los Angeles Lakers. Westbrook didn't. His production was down. We know it was down. However, he still is a dominant player. He's still
Available.
capable of, and that's my biggest thing I always preach about him is that guy is always on the floor. He's always playing, and he's always giving 100%.
Shooting bricks, but on the court.
Yeah, absolutely. But they always like to make it. They like the media likes to spin it and say that Russell Westbrook has lost a step. I mean, when you're playing with LeBron James, of course you're going to take a little bit of a hit in categories because LeBron James is one of a great all-around player. However, what's going to happen is, he's going to get fed up eventually and want out of there. Well, he's got his year left. He's probably going to leave after that, but he might leave. It sounds like he's going to be gone before then, but if they think that they're just going to give him, if Patrick Beverly is going to take the place, then that's a bad move. It all really comes down to Anthony Davis and whether he could stay healthy. I call him street clothes, so that's what he
Like
really
Charles.
is. Like Charles, that's it. Charles summed it up 100%, and that's my favorite expression because that's what it is. Street clothes. It's always in his street clothes.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, I've never bought into the narrative about when AD is healthy, he's a top 5 player. When AD is blah blah blah, I've never bought into that narrative. What about you?
Yes and no, and the reason we know he's a fantastic player, right?
A talent, top 5 maybe talent, but player is difficult for me.
Well, I would lump a player's availability as part of whether they're top five or not, and he hasn't been top five, especially when it comes to being healthy. He might be one of the most fragile big guys I've ever seen in my entire life. So he's a little overrated just because he can't stay healthy. When he was in New Orleans, New Orleans didn't do anything.
He was the
Uh,
PER prince.
yeah, he didn't do anything to help the Pelicans grow or anything like that. So he got to the Lakers. You know, he helped them win a championship in the bubble. Whether that was a legit championship or not, I don't know. But he hasn't been wowing me at all. Let's just say that.
Yeah, and we also saw that last year he shot like 18% from three. So as you said, it all depends on AD. We saw. That's a question that I have for you. What do you think about Darvin Ham coming to the Lakers? First time head coach. He was a former Milwaukee Bucks assistant. He has a tough personality. I think he's gonna gain the respect of the locker room. What do you think that may or what are the adjustments or the things that he can contribute to this team?
Well, the you're 110%. You took the words right out of my mouth. When you look at him, he just looks tough. You know what I mean? When you watch him in summer league, he looks like a guy who's just not messing around. You know what I mean? So I like
He
how
was a
when he,
tough player, right?
yeah, I like when he came in too. He said, you know, we love Russ. I have a role for Russ. I want to keep him there and everything like that. So to me, he's gotten off to such a good start with the Lakers, and hopefully he doesn't put up with any, bullshit along the way, and any of these guys who think that they're gonna just act stupid. And I think he can keep. He might be the key in helping Russell Westbrook stay there because I don't think. Patrick Beverly is a good defensive player. He had an up year in Minnesota, but let's just face it, he's in Minnesota. He's still not, he's a good defensive disruptor.
He won the playing championship.
He won the playing championship, celebrated like he won an Olympic gold medal. But he's injured a lot, but he brings a good attitude to the team. So. But it'll be interesting too because we know him and Russ haven't gotten along over the years, so it'll be interesting to see how those two coexist. Which, to me, the Lakers could win one game, and I just want to see those guys coexist.
Just to see the dynamic between them, right?
Oh yeah, I hope that it'd be great if they weren't talking or if they got into a fight on the sidelines or something. That'd be fantastic.
That
I
would be
love
great.
fights. I love when guys fight.
A real fight.
Right.
What do you think about the Lakers young core? They traded away THT. I was never a THT fan. They got Austin Reeves. They got a lot of young players. What do you think that maybe one of them can make a significant jump and help the Lakers maybe get into the playoffs?
Well, they're going to need to because the Lakers don't really have that much depth. So if LeBron goes down, which it's more than, I could see LeBron missing some time either for maintenance purposes or tweaks an ankle or a groin issue that he's been dealing with. AD is going to miss about 53 games this season. So he's off the table. And that's another reason you got to keep Russ is because he's available. And I've also seen rumblings that they're going to put Austin Reeves into the starting lineup. THT, he was one of those guys who played well in his rookie season. They rewarded him by giving him a deal because they thought they had some potential in him. He had his best season statistically this year. He was averaging 10 points a game. He broke his thumb, I believe. Yeah, it was a broken thumb. He missed a lot of time. But I think him going to Utah is going to be he's going to be somebody to watch. Him and Malik Beasley are two guys who are capable.
He's like 21, right?
He's very young, very young. So
yeah. We will see what happens with THT in Utah. that's another great segue. That's two in a row.
I'm the king of
Uh,
segues.
just in case you didn't know, what's your opinion about the whole Utah situation? We saw that they traded Rudy Gobert away to the Minnesota Timberwolves. That put a stop somehow some way in the KD situation. What's your thoughts on Donovan Mitchell? Do you think that he's gonna be traded to New York? Maybe.
See, that one's a tough one too. I've constant, and I always said it before, but apparently they're not interested anymore. But I thought the Cavs were always in the best position to get Donovan Mitchell. They have plenty more assets that they can give
Colin Sexton,
away.
right?
They have Sexton. Hey, they haven't been able to work on an agreement. He wants about double of what they're willing to pay him. Karis LeVert is a guy who makes a lot of money, but he's hurt a lot. But he does have some appeal on the offensive end if he can stay healthy, which has been a significant issue. He fractured
Maybe
his
Markkinen.
Lowry. Yep. So they have a bunch of good. Kevin Love makes a lot of money. Like so, the numbers could match up easily. The Knicks, they don't really have much to deal on, outside of draft picks. And the latest deal I saw proposed was Obi Toppin, Evan Fournier, and some picks, with two of them being unprotected.
Some cash, right?
And some cash. But what happened with the Rudy Gobert situation now is if the Timberwolves could get that many picks for Rudy Gobert, why can't I get more than that for Donovan Mitchell? Which is 110%. You can I agree with that. If you're going to get 4 first round picks for Rudy Gobert, Donovan Mitchell's at least worth double that some way.
Yeah, and obviously everyone, or in this case Utah, wants the Knicks pack of picks because they're gonna be really really interesting. The same as the Lakers 2027 and 2029, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, the
Everyone,
Lakers love those draft picks. For some reason, we're in 2022 now. I could be dead by then, but for some reason, we're talking about 27 and 29 draft picks. Like they're the most, valuable picks on the planet. And I'm like, holy shit, man! It's 2027 we're talking about. We could get
yeah,
hit with a nuke by then, and it won't matter. So who cares?
yeah, the Earth can blow up with with a,
Comet,
steroid, a comet.
something,
Yeah,
meteor, whatever.
we never know.
Aliens. Who the hell knows?
Damn. So we talk about all these three
Did
teams.
Did I segue into aliens just now?
Yeah, that's another
right,
topic that I had on my deck.
All right, let's do it.
But the question that I have for you is that we saw that when KD demanded a trade, he demanded that Sean Marks and Steve Nash will needed to be gone in order for him to resign or to stay in Brooklyn. ESPN didn't say a word for like 5-6 hours. I don't know if you saw that. What do you think is the difference? Obviously, working with your own platform, in contrast to working for ESPN, where you have an editorial control over what you say.
I mean, obviously, as you could see, I probably wouldn't be allowed on ESPN. So, it's a lot better to shoot straight. Just be real. And when on the Atlantic Files, man, we're just talking about, we're being real. We're not spinning anything. We're just calling it as it sees. No, there's no agenda there. We're just 3 normal guys talking about basketball, and that's what we like to do.
Yeah. The another segue is, what's your favorite NBA conspiracy theory? We got the 100 points of Will Chamberlain that we have never seen footage of it. Maybe the Jordan pizza situation in Utah, the frozen envelope of the Patrick Ewing draft. What's your favorite NBA conspiracy theory? Theory.
This is one of those things where I cannot think of a conspiracy theory right now that's basketball related. I can think of 100 other conspiracy theories, but not when it comes to basketball. So this might be one of those things where I'm going to look back and I'm going to say, "Oh, I should have said this. I should." So I'm going to say that.
Or,
I do know, like my. You want to
or
know my?
maybe Tim Conahy, the referee. Or maybe that's not a conspiracy theory, but
Well, I mean that's as good of a conspiracy as you could get. I do know. My favorite NBA moment though was the Malice in the Palace because to me it's just
that
it's
was
not a
in 03.
yeah, it was back yeah, around then, but that to me that was like the most fun, guys beating the shit out of each other and throwing chairs and everything. That you're not gonna get any better than that.
Yeah, the protagonist of the Malice at the Palace was Ron Artest
Ron
and Steven
Artest.
Jackson, right?
Yeah, good stuff.
My great one of my favorite moments is when Gilbert Arenas was caught
The
with
gun.
a gun. Yeah.
We actually just talked about that, and I made a joke. I don't know if you heard it, but apparently he has a podcast, and I made a joke, and I said, "What's it called? Loaded handgun or something?" Something I said, and yeah. So
Yeah.
that
That's that,
I love when guys do stupid shit like this. That's just my favorite stuff right there.
Gilbert Arenas with I've seen the anecdotes that Swaggy P. I don't know if you know Swaggy P.
Of course, I'm down with Swaggy P. Of course.
He's one of the homies. He when all the anecdote that he told that he tells about Gilbert Arenas is amazing. What he was a great a character of the NBA.
He had a lot of great seasons, and he was a good player, but he reminds me a lot of John Wall in a lot of ways. Just was great one time, and then just all of a sudden fell off the planet.
Yeah, after LeBron touched him before the free throws.
Yeah, LeBron's got never mind. I'll keep it. Yeah,
Yeah. That maybe that's another segue to
yeah, yeah.
Delonte West. Damn.
I heard he's on crack again.
Yeah, man. Man, he's having a rough time. I
But
really.
I was so happy when he got off the street, but um, I hope the guy just. I hope he gets help and gets out of that situation though. So that's very sad because I remember watching him as a player and I remember playing like shit. I remember one of the PlayStation games and I always liked being Delonte West, guys like that. And I just hopefully he gets help and gets clean, you know what I mean? But if anything, at least he went down. He had a romantic encounter,
Yeah,
allegedly with somebody.
allegedly.
Right. We don't
Um,
get sued here.
I had a friend of mine that says that
He did.
what happened.
Oh, I
What
was gonna
happened?
say your friend went after LeBron's mom too.
No, he said that he has a theory that what happened to Delonte West is directly from what he did to LeBron, like karma. So he says don't mess with LeBron, don't fuck with LeBron.
Well, I mean, LeBron is like the Illuminati of the NBA. He's like control. Yeah, he's that guy's gonna be controlling everything pretty soon. Gonna own something. Yeah.
A
So
team in Vegas,
yeah, he's untouchable. Thank God MJ's still in the picture. Can't mess
Yeah,
with MJ though.
yeah. That's another great segue. What do you think about Bronny? We have seen a lot of shit about Bronny. He's gonna be great. He's gonna be bad. That he's small. I've seen that some people say that he's 6'4", others says that he's 6'1". What do you think about Bronny?
I mean, some people say I weigh 310. I mean, that don't mean anything. You know what I mean? So it's not about your height or any of that other bullshit. Your wingspan. We're well beyond that point with this guy. That when it comes to Bronny, it's going to be, are you good or not? They don't. Who cares about anything else? Can you
Yeah,
produce? Are you going to be like you? Two things: are you good, and are you going to play with your dad for at least one season? Other than that, who cares? We've seen a lot of kids play in the league and haven't been good. I mean, Sharif O'Neal is on the elite now, and Scottie Pippen is juniors in LA on a two-way. Gary Payton's a good defensive guy, but we've seen a lot of players. Glenn Rice Jr. is not really didn't do much, so there's a lot of kids who turn into nothing, So
like MJ kids.
like
They really.
no, and we know Magic Johnson's son's not gonna play in the league. Know what I mean? Maybe
Yeah,
WNBA.
I mean he's like six five.
He's huge. He's huge. We'll leave it
We
at
can
that.
we can leave it at there. We can
All
leave it at
right.
there. We didn't talk about the Chet Holmgren situation. I before the draft I did a stream. I did a live. One day for each prospect. When I saw the footage of Chet Holmgren, um, like you said, sarcastically, he shoots threes, but he's not ready to bang with guys in the post.
So I hate college basketball
Yeah,
because everybody wants to make a deal about a guy who's 7'2" and weighs 136 pounds, but an average is almost 4 blocks a game. But then when he gets to the big time, you got LeBron just absolutely making him look like a little kid. And now because the guy won't eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Now he's out for the year. What they need to do is hire me to help me put some bulk on him. Like I'll help him gain at least 60 pounds.
some advice.
Oh, I'll hang out with him. I'll play 2K with him. I'll we'll go to the Chinese buffet. I'll get some bulk on that guy one way or the other.
He needs to hit the gym. As you
You got
said,
Chinese food down there?
yeah, in Oklahoma, right?
Oh, I was gonna say you got Chinese food down there in South America.
Yeah.
How about pizza? Is that any good?
Most of the time, we got Domino's, Papa John's.
Okay, so you don't have any pizza. I do love Domino's, though. I will say.
Yeah, I was gonna tell you that. Yeah, the homemade pizza is 100% better than Domino's or Papa John's.
Wow, that's universal, sir. That's just not down there. It's like that in a lot of places. So
Yeah. So we will see what happened with Chet.
yeah,
What's
he needs
your
to gain 50 pounds easily. At most, at minimum, he needs to gain 50 pounds.
yeah, and his frame is he's very little. So we'll see what happened with him. What's your candidate to win rookie of the year? Banquero, maybe Keegan Murray.
Well, Murray's been dealing with a wrist injury, so I
Yeah,
don't know how that's going to mess with him throughout the year. But coming in, like there was a lot of hype over Jovic, but apparently they're going to develop him slowly. So I think it's going to come down to. I mean, I don't want to give a generic answer though, because there's going to be some guy who emerges who is going to be in the running. You know what I mean? So
the kid from the Pacers, Matherin,
right, I was. That's so funny. I was literally going to bring him up, but I could
with
see
the
him.
cornrows.
Yeah, he's cool, but I could see something like that happening. But Paulo's he'll emerge in the conversation, but he's playing in Orlando, so who the hell knows?
Yeah, especially going after DeJounte Murray in the Pro
Yeah,
AM.
you don't want to do that.
You don't want to mess with DeJounte Murray.
No, I love him. He actually is on my list to be in the top 5 for MVP this season.
Top 5.
Yeah. The guy averages a triple double, and he averaged two steals per game last season. You can't get better than that.
He was obviously playing in a shitty situation with next to Pop,
right?
Who's older than a turtle.
Well, there's some old turtles out there, but he's right up there with him. So,
Iguodala.
Yeah. You like that? Yeah. So you heard the turtle joke? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Did you hear the turtle joke?
Yeah.
All right.
That fits perfectly with Andre Iguodala.
I mean, absolutely. I said he's gonna you'll see him washed up on shore, flipped upside down, with seaweed hanging out of his ass.
A Galapagos turtle. Going to the next topic that I have for you, or the next section of the podcast, is catch and shoot. It is called catch and shoot.
Can I ask you a question real quick? Because we're not talking like shoot like Gilbert Arenas shoot. Like, I'm not going to die here, am I?
We're not playing. What is that? What is the name of the game when the Russian roulette?
Yes.
Yeah, we're not playing Russian roulette.
All right, so I'm gonna live.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
You're gonna see tomorrow. You're gonna.
Well, maybe I don't know.
We never know. What do you think about the another great segue? What do you think about what Gilbert Arenas said about Giannis? That he's not understanding the game. That he's playing the sport, but he's not like really understanding and developing his body in order to play at a higher level. He criticized him. He criticized him for playing like 33 minutes and saying that LeBron was playing 37 minutes at 37 years old. What do you think about that hating motherfucker?
Well, I didn't see it, but I'm going to agree with him, because my big thing with Giannis was he was exposed, especially the past couple seasons, for his inability to. He can't shoot, so if he can't get inside, like that's how you win, is you just stop him from getting inside. He can't shoot from long range. He can't shoot free throws consistently. So if he doesn't develop a shot, it's not going to be good for him. So I agree with that.
Yeah, I can get that part, but I think that expecting Giannis to get a shot at this point in his career, I think it's too late. I mean, I think he is who he is. He's gonna dominate the paint. He needs shooters around him, but we've seen that lately. A lot of people have discredited Giannis. I don't know if you saw the Andre Iguodala comments talking about Rasheed Wallace would have been better than Giannis if he have played in this era. So that's gonna continue.
All I know is Rasheed Wallace was good for a while. So, I mean, why can't we just leave it at that? You know?
Yeah.
So who did he play? Who did he play for? The Blazers? I think he played for the Knicks.
The Boston
Celtics. Yeah. So he had a good career and he contributed. So, but Giannis is a good player. He's going to be in the MVP conversation, but he does have some limitations, and he'll have to address it. But I wouldn't look too much into it. All I know is he just needs to. If he's going to prove anything, the easiest thing to improve out of that is probably the free throw shooting.
Yeah, we saw him close out the Phoenix Suns and shooting like 15 out of 17 free throws.
Yeah, I mean, so he just can't do that consistently. But when he gets on the line, I never have like, oh, here's 2 going in. You know what I mean? It's not like that.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that he will never be that type of player. He's never gonna shoot 90% from the free throw line. But maybe he's the closest thing that we have seen since Shaq, right?
Well, he just has to improve a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
The difference with Shaq though is that no matter how much you try, you're still not stopping him.
yeah, he was like 350, 7'2".
572 pounds, like he was a monster. So there's a big difference between Shaq and Giannis. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Giannis is like leaner, right? It's like he's not that big.
He's pretty big, but he's not like me big, but he's like
Yeah, oh,
muscular.
compared
Like
to Shaq.
shit. But Shaq liked to eat, so he had
Yeah.
he had some mass on him.
Yeah, the next topic is the Tatum's comments about his injury, what he was dealing in the playoff. What do you think about what he said?
Well, when it first happened, it was kind of it was shrugged off that it was just a stinger, and that's kind of like what's everybody's believed for like the past up until a couple of days ago, and now I mean, kudos to him though for playing through it, and I don't know if it would have changed anything had he stayed healthy, but at least kudos to him.
Yeah,
That shows a lot about him that he's willing to play through something like that, but. Like I said, I don't think it's going to make a difference. It wouldn't have made a difference.
yeah, I agree with that. What do you think about Udonis Haslem coming back to the Miami Heat for another season? He, with all the time that he has taken, or that he has not played, it's like 8 seasons of playing time. What do you think about him coming back?
He still missed less time than Kyrie Irving has, so let's just But the thing about him, he's the smartest guy on the planet. I mean, I've talked about that before in somewhere, but he's the smartest dude ever. I mean, if you can get that kind of money and just kind of sit there on the bench and not do anything, hey,
Having the best seats to watch the game.
people pay a lot of money for his seats. He's getting paid to be there, to do nothing. Except maybe mess up Jimmy Butler if Jimmy Butler gets out of line.
He's Eric Spoelstra's bodyguard.
Hey, good guy to have.
You don't want to mess with. You don't want to mess with Darvin Ham, and you don't definitely want to mess with Haslem.
Well, he's from Miami, and he's about 9 feet tall, and he looks like a bad dude. So I'm not. I wouldn't. If I were Butler, I wouldn't. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think about Andre Drummond? We saw him last season played for the Brooklyn Nets. He claims that when his career is over, he will go down as the greatest rebounder in NBA history.
No, one of them. I mean, he's a good rebounder. I mean, he's always the guy
in double digits, right?
Oh, but blows double digits out of the water. And lately too, his biggest problem is that now with him in Chicago, he's going to be behind Vucevic, so the amount of minutes he's going to get is not going to be there. But he's still a guy capable of putting up numbers even when he's playing limited workload.
Yeah. Do you have you seen the Janet McCurdy book?
No.
Andre Drummond, he dated an iCarly star from Nickelodeon, and she released a book that is called "I'm Happy Finally My Mom Has Died," something like that.
The girl from iCarly wrote that?
Yeah.
No shit.
The blonde girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Andre Drummond dated her back in the day.
I know he was, allegedly putting the bricks to her, but I didn't realize that, she wrote a book.
Yeah, she wrote a book because she was like exploded from she was exploded by her mother in order to become a star.
So her mother forced her to be a millionaire. Okay. How dare her?
How dare her?
All my dad ever told me to do was cut the grass. And I didn't get paid shit for it. You know what I mean?
And you have to do that quietly.
Right. I didn't get paid nothing. He said, go cut the grass, and then when you're done, we'll figure something else. This girl's going to Hollywood and get paid $1 million.
and she will earn a lot of money with that book. I'm pretty sure.
I might buy it. Probably not.
Talking about dating. I don't know if you saw that.
No,
back
I'm not dating. I'm married.
Damn. You saw a.
I know there's probably a lot of chicas down there in Chile who want to know what Grande E Sexy is up to, but
especially with your name, with your name tag.
That's right.
That Brandon Ingram was dating like a dwarf. he liked small people.
Well, I mean, the guy's 6'8", so when he means dwarfs, he was probably 5'5". So
yeah.
No, but there are some that's something every guy would that's a bucket list thing. You're like, if I can get a chance
at that
just once, just to see what it's all about, I'm going to do it. You know what I mean?
Definitely. The last topic that I have for you,
was that the question? Did you want to talk about Brandon Ingram with a midget?
No. There was a segue from Andre Drummond dating the iCarly.
Okay, I was like, is that a real question? That's a great question.
What do you think about Paul Gasol getting his jersey retired? The Lakers only do that for players that have been inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Awesome.
We will see that in the future. Paul Gasol will get into the Hall of Fame. What's your thoughts on Paul Gasol?
He's awesome. Both of them are great. And Mark should be retired in Memphis. So yeah, both of them are great. So I mean,
and both of them won a ring, right?
Powell won 2.
And Mark won with Toronto.
Yeah, it's 100 to. You want to know something? Because he didn't play, so he did nothing. But that was, so you kind of forget that he was a part of that championship team, because he literally there are times when he didn't even start, because you're like, oh, because it was defensive. He's not quick, So, but yeah, no, it's good point. Both of them are awesome.
Yeah, and tall as fuck.
Yeah. I'm sure they've had a couple midgets in their day. You know what I mean?
That's like eating bread for them. That's something normal.
Right.
The last thing before I let you go, I don't want to take advantage of your time.
I have a lot of valuable time here.
I'm pretty sure. I'm seeing you rocking the Bengals jersey. What's your? Are you a Bengals fan?
I am. I'm from Brooklyn originally. However, people ask me why I like the Bengals, and I didn't just start liking the Bengals, but I've liked the Bengals my entire life, because when I played Super Nintendo back in like early '90s, I loved the Bengals because of their colors and stuff. So I always was a Bengals.
And the helmet.
And the helmets are fantastic, but it hasn't been all roses to be a Bengals fan. So I'll prove it to you. There's been a lot of shitty seasons to where I go back to where
with
my
buddy Andy Dalton.
Oh, way before that, man. I knew a guy who had one of those huge ass satellite dishes, and he was the only guy who could get the ticket because there was no internet or any of that stupid shit before that. So I would go over to his house when the Bengals played his team, the Steelers, and I was literally watching throwing Achilles Smith and John Kitna throw interceptions. That's how far I go back with the Bengals. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's been a long time love hate thing but no, I've always loved the Bengals. The Bengals are like my team.
From Cincinnati, what's your opinion about Joe Burrow? Do you see him being one of the top quarterbacks in the league in the near future?
Well, he already is. I mean, he messed up
to the Super Bowl.
He messed his knee up. He tore his ACL, MCL, meniscus. Like, he did all this shit to one knee, and yet he came in his second year and took his team to the Super Bowl. The only reason the Bengals didn't win is because their offensive line is garbage.
Was trash. And
trash garbage.
I am a Chiefs fan, so I'm very bitter about the
They
how
beat
is
him
that called,
twice.
the AFC championship game.
Yep.
Damn, we blew a motherfucking 18-point lead against the Bengals.
Well, the Bengals, man, they could put up points, and they've
Jamar
upgraded
Chase.
they've upgraded the offensive line this year. They got Chase, they got T. Higgins, they have Joe
Boyle.
Mixon. Boyd out of the slot is great. Like they're a good team.
Yeah, especially with the head coach,
Yes, Zach Taylor.
Zach Taylor. He is a great coach, man.
Well, I wanted him gone. I hated him, but after last year, I'm like, nah, please stay. We don't want you to go anywhere. Nah, it's a great time of the year, man. I don't know what happens down there in Chile, but like in Sundays, like it's literally the entire world stops. Everybody's
NFL
just
Red Zone. O sea, yeah.
yeah, red zone, and people are just watching football all day. Sunday's the best day of the year in the fall.
Drinking beer, smoking something.
Yeah, I don't need to smoke anything else because I don't need to put on any weight. So smoking.
You don't need the munchies.
I don't need the. I already have the munchies on its own. I don't need to put on. I don't need any more reason to have the munchies, man.
That's great, man. Obviously, here it's not a very popular sport, but a lot of people like to watch the NFL. What is your candidate to win the AFC and the NFC?
Well, the Bengals are going to win the AFC again.
They are going to the Super Bowl.
They're going right back, and they're going to win it this time. The
And
NFC, I don't know. Who cares? Doesn't matter because whoever's good now. In all
the Rams.
seriousness,
I'm picking the Rams.
well, it all has to do if Matthew Stafford stays healthy because he's
He was dealing with an injury, right?
Yeah, an elbow injury, and then it was infected and all this other bullshit. So, if he doesn't stay healthy, there's some problems there. They have John Wolford is their backup quarterback who's been dealing with a ripped fingernail off of his thumb, which leaves them with the, so yeah.
Yeah, and they also got Sean McVay as a coach.
He just graduated high school
last year.
Yeah, last year.
He's like 2022. So
he's
that's
younger than me, which is it's he's younger than me, which is
he's
scary.
like 30, 32.
No, he's like 36, 37.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
Yeah. And maybe Brady. What do you think about Brady taking 2 weeks off?
Good for him.
He's dealing maybe with a family situation.
Yeah, well, we heard that's not true, but you want to know something? Even if it was, I mean, he could not even go to training camp if he didn't want to. It's not like people
stuck by themselves.
Yeah, it's not like people haven't not done a training camp for dumber reasons. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So we talked a lot in this episode, in the MOP podcast, the Mario Perandi podcast. We had here Dennis. Thank you, Dennis, for coming here. Thanks for your amability towards me, and was a great show.
I feel much cooler for having hung out with you. You're such a cool guy.
Thank you, man. Thank you, man.
I feel hip hanging out with you. So.
Yeah, man. Maybe we can do this another time. Maybe we can talk about the NFL. But once again, thanks for coming here.
Yeah, anytime. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So, can you tell the people where they can find you?
Yeah, you can subscribe to the Atlantic Files. Hit us up on YouTube. I'm gonna probably mess this up because my boy Alex usually does this, but I'm gonna give it. So you can find us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, I think Twitch, OnlyFans. Who the hell knows where we're at? But we're in a bunch of places. Follow us on Twitter at Atlantic Files. I'm on Twitter as well, Dennis M. Clausen, and if you want to see some of my work at Rotoballer and Rotoballer NBA and things like that. So yeah, I'm all over the place.
All over the place, Dennis.
I'm accessible because I actually love when people message me because I'll talk whatever, you know.
Yeah, man, that was really great. You responding back. That was amazing.
Well, thank you.
Obviously, I'm from Chile. We are far away, but thanks to StreamYard, we can be here and do this show live.
Try maybe next time I'll fly down to Chile.
Yeah, you can come here, man, with your name, Grande and Sexy.
Did I
You
do
can,
that right? Is that big sexy in Spanish?
yeah, Grande y Sexy.
I did it right. Okay.
Yeah, that's right. So thank you, man.
Thanks, brother.
Thank you. Until next time. This was a great episode, almost an hour. We talked a lot of things, so that was amazing. So until next time, peace.